Morning guys, welcome to my Veganuary vlog. Today I thought I'd talk about changing habits. Change can be difficult for some people for lots of different reasons, and certainly taking the plunge into eating a whole food plant-based diet can be overwhelming for some people as well. And so how do you go about that? How do you implement change? How do you action so that it's going to become a habit and a sustainable change for you? When we were looking at changing to a vegan diet, one of the first things we did was start watching documentaries, and I think that was a really important step. So that helped us really solidify the reasons behind wanting to change, and it helped to educate us about all of the reasons to change. So there's some really awesome documentaries that are readily available. Food Matters is a great one, Food Choices is another one, What the Health is awesome as well. And then if you really want to get more into the sort of animal ethics side of thing, then I would highly recommend watching Earthlings. And that's one that once you've watched, it's really hard to not go vegan. It's very confronting. There's a lot of footage in there which is really quite heartbreaking. And so, you know, if you're a bit on the fence, watch Earthlings and you'll be pretty convinced that you need to make the change. So that was one thing that we did in the beginning, was start watching documentaries, and that really helped particularly my husband Ben to get more on board with it as well. And one thing he did, because he was commuting to Brisbane at the time, so he had an hour or more each day, twice a day in the car, where he had time to listen to podcasts. So he'd get some Rich Roll podcasts going during that commute, or other podcasts about not just a plant-based diet, but other sort of aspects of that as well. And that again helped to really solidify things. And so that's an important step. If you educate yourself and you're more aware of the reasons behind that change, then it's more likely that you'll stick to it when the time comes for you to make the commitment. Another thing would be to start small. So don't try and change too many things at once. So maybe just start with switching your breakfast out for a vegan meal. You know, if you normally eat bacon and eggs, then try avocado and toast, or a smoothie bowl, or some scrambled tofu with hash browns or vegan sausages, or, you know, whatever floats your boat. There's so many alternatives. You could pretty much replace anything with a vegan meal these days. And so just start with one meal and try and match it with a trigger or a cue as well, so that you're reminded, because when you're sort of living a busy life, it's really easy just to consistently run with the habits that you've already got in place. So try and link the habit that you want to change to a visual cue, so that you're reminded each day. So say when you wake up in the morning, you go down to the kitchen and you put your coffee machine on. Then next to the coffee machine, maybe put a little vision board or a few pictures or something that inspire you about that change. So that might be, you know, pictures of animals living happy lives, or it might be pictures of, you know, vegan athletes that look amazing, and the picture of health, or, you know, whatever it is for you that's your motivating factor. Have it somewhere where it's visual, you're going to be looking at it every day, and it's going to remind you that, oh, that's right, I wanted to eat a healthy breakfast today. So, you know, that will be the reminder. Another thing to do is to make sure that you've got those options in place, and you've removed all the ones that you may fall back on if, you know, things get tough. So get all of the animal products out of your house when you're ready to make the change. You know, get all the cheese out of your fridge, get rid of the butter, find a milk replacement, be organised, go and do a shop and get some healthy options into your house, so that it's easy for you to make the right choices too. Another great thing you can do when you're looking at changing a habit is to have some kind of accountability. So that might be your partner, or a friend, or a family member, or a work colleague. Maybe see if they want to sign up for the challenge as well, and you know, pick a start date and an end date, because if it's something that you're thinking about changing forever, then that might be overwhelming for you. So maybe just try and change it for 21 days. You know, it takes 21 days to change a habit. It takes that sort of time frame to change your taste buds and rewire your brain. And so that might be a nice little bite-sized time frame for you to start with. And then by the end of the 3 weeks, you'll probably feel so great that you'll want to keep going with it. And then if you've got that accountability partner, then you've got that sort of inspiration and motivation to keep going with as well. And you've got someone to check in with on a daily basis. And so that helps to prevent failure. You know, if we're accountable to someone else, then we're more likely to stick to the plan rather than perhaps failing. But at the same time, don't see those failures as, oh, you know, well, I can't possibly succeed in this because I failed today. Just see it as a learning curve and keep going and try again the next day. Because, you know, when you're trying to change a habit, failure is going to come up at some point, and you know, that's just human, so don't worry about those little failures as well. What else? I guess, yeah, start small. You know, start with your breakfast. Try and just pick a small time frame. Make sure you've got some sort of accountability, like maybe Facebook. You know, you could make an announcement on Facebook. You could do a daily vlog like I'm doing about, you know, the changes that you're implementing and how it's feeling or how it's affecting you. Or you could also link it with an end goal as well. Like, say maybe you want to, I don't know, run a marathon or something in 3 months' time, then this could be one of the sort of steps that you put in place in order to be able to do that. And so it's going to help with your fitness and your endurance and your recovery and all of those things. So maybe linking it to something else could be helpful for you as well. I guess planning ahead too, so I talked a little bit about that already. So when obstacles do come up, what are you going to do about them? So, and that's one of the reasons why you would take all of the unhealthy food choices out of your house, is to make it easier for you, to make sure that those kinds of obstacles don't arise. But think about other obstacles as well, like maybe going out and eating socially in a group might be a challenge for you. So perhaps don't go out on any social engagements during that sort of initial 3 week or however long commitment. Or make sure that you engineer it so that you go to a place that's got some great vegan options, or you know, take something along with you. Maybe have an outdoor picnic where you can take your own food along as well. Another thing would be to remember that check-in. So each day have some sort of check-in, so either with your accountability partner, or there's some great apps as well that are all about changing habits and creating streaks, so something that you do every day. So there's one called Habit Hub that you could put on your phone, and then at the end of the day you tick it off when you've done whatever it is that you're planning to do. And so that's another just way of keeping yourself accountable as well. And I guess, you know, have that faith in your end goal, and that's partly about education, but it's partly about really paying attention to how you're feeling as well. If you're feeling better and better and better every day, then it's going to become easy to maintain that habit, because you're going to feel amazing. And so use that as part of your motivation as well. And also notice the effects when you do the opposite. So say, you know, you go out and you decide to have the bacon and eggs on toast for breakfast because you went to a cafe with a friend instead of choosing a better option. But then notice how you feel afterwards. You'll probably feel really lethargic and like you want to go down home and have a sleep, instead of, you know, after a smoothie bowl you feel like you want to go for a run up a mountain. So, you know, really pay attention and be mindful of how those choices affect you, and that will again inspire and motivate you to maintain the change in your habits. That's it, I think, for today. A nice little short one. I know a lot of people, or a few people, have been sort of asking me some questions along the way about different things. So obviously some of the videos have got people thinking, which is wonderful. That makes me really happy. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to do this challenge for January. And so yeah, hopefully that video will help people start thinking about how to actually implement the change that they're seeking. That's it for today. I will see you guys tomorrow with another topic, and we're more than halfway now, so definitely sign up for Veganuary if you think you want to give plant-based eating a go, and see how that feels. See you guys.